Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Anywhere But Here. I'm Tom.
And I'm Ant.
And this is episode 16. Before we start the show, all the fucking preamble that we do every bloody week.
Because we know how much you love it.
Yeah, but repetition is giving us some sort of feedback. So
Yes, it does.
we are going to continue bombarding you with advertising for our own websites.
Because isn't it like a 21 days to form a habit or break a habit?
Yeah, it's
so
about
the more you
21,
hear
30
it,
days.
the more it gets into your
Yeah.
subconscious. You're like, oh, I've got to do that.
For example, Chris Osborne bought something on Amazon and he texted me about it this week. He said,
Did he
I bought
buy
through
the Sugar
your...
Bear? Did he buy the Human Brain Colouring book? Or did he pre-order the new Dan Brown book? Because they're the three things that run Amazon.
I pre-ordered the Dan Brown book.
Shh.
Oh, wait, that's for my mum's birthday.
Yes. Oh, is it?
Which was last week, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, he's bought a couple of books, and he said if you get where is it? Hold on.
He could be the Kindle books.
Yeah, maybe. Oh no, I've deleted it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was in there. Oh well. He basically said, you know, if there's a couple of random books that come up in your feed, it's my.
Well, I think Sugar Bear and the Human Brain Colouring book is a random one. I don't understand why he'd buy a kid's book though.
No, me neither. He doesn't have a child.
No, I don't know.
Anyway, you can find us on Twitter. I'm Hey It's Me Tom.
I'm Hey It's Ant.
And the podcast itself has its own dedicated Twitter feed now.
I'll go with that, ABH Pod.
Yeah, at ABH Pod. We have an email address where you can get in contact with us as well. It's abhpod@gmail.com.
Every fucking week. But yeah, that works. We've had an email this week, two, in fact.
Have we indeed?
Yes.
No.
It was in answer to my thing, you know, when I was asking about the random words.
Oh, yeah.
When I was asking about
That
Etsy
Etsy
thing.
yeah.
And the English teacher,
Yes.
also known as Jo,
Yeah.
she did get
Our
back to us.
Regular contributor.
She did get back to us and I'm going to have to load it up. I'll load it up and I'll talk about it.
Okay.
Some other point.
We also
once
have a
we've done
website
preamble.
as well, which we've advertised many times before. It's abhpod.com. Yeah, and there's a little banner at the top, in the top right hand corner, which is
When they're watching the video, it'll be up
yeah,
that way.
I've been caught out. In the top right hand corner, where you can go to Amazon, buy your stuff there, and we get a little bit of money back from Amazon, which is great.
Which is what we were talking about with the Chris Osborne.
Yes, yeah. So we get something like 5% of everything that you buy, and it doesn't cost you anything. It just costs Amazon, which is good because they've got enough money and they don't pay tax.
Okay.
And we can do with the money because it means that we get to buy stuff which makes us sound better, which we have done, but not with the Amazon
Not with
money.
the Amazon money.
Eventually, maybe we'll have enough to buy a pop shield
Or you know,
maybe.
hosting for next year so you can carry on listening to
Yeah.
us. Because it's going to be mega expensive next year.
Yeah,
Because the first year you get a discount, you get a deal because it's your first thing,
Oh.
isn't it? Special offers. But when you renew,
it's gonna be like
it's cheaper when you buy your first year. When you buy your second year, it goes up. It was like, what was it, 40 quid?
yes.
I think next year it's like double that.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'll have to pay for next year's then, won't I?
Well, no.
No,
Our listeners
if you
and
go
viewers
to
will.
Amazon and buy stuff, you're helping us stay on the air.
There's also a way on YouTube that you can help support us, but we're not allowed to tell you to interact with any advertisements on the video because Google don't like it when you do that.
Oh,
Because then you're asking someone to do something and it'd be like a false
I see.
right,
yeah.
interaction with the mouse and the left mouse button.
So don't.
But we're not telling you to do
No.
that. But if you did, no.
No, we're not allowed to tell them to do anything.
No. Although in actual fact that's happened because I keep looking and we keep getting interactions with the advertisements, but we're not getting credit for them.
Oh, well, that's not fair, is it?
No, I don't know why. There's something called false click.
How do they know it's false?
Well, if it comes from the same person every week.
Oh, right. Okay. Well,
no.
and that's all the websites. So that's the intro done, and it only took us 4.5 minutes.
Well, hey, so the email
Yes.
that we got to answer your question, a nonsense word is called a discourse marker, or more technically, a nonsense word. We have Edward Lear and Lewis Carroll to thank for them.
Okay.
Alternatively, you could call it an interjection, which is very useful. But I also looked up because I was looking for what, you know, the phrase like it is or I did. What that sort of
What that?
couple of words was, and I was making it too complicated as a verb.
Oh,
It's a, I was trying to make it too complicated, like a and the.
yeah.
They're not verbs, are they? They're
No.
There's
Are they adverbs?
yeah. There's a certain word, and that's what I was trying to think. Something like, just normal verbiage.
Okay. Just a bit of verbiage.
It is. I do. It's
Fair enough. Well,
yeah.
but
But
now
yes, thank you, Joe, because I do like this discourse marker.
yes. We've learnt something.
There we do.
Yeah. Which we do every week.
That was the idea. That was what I was trying to get out of it. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
As always.
Right. So news, I guess.
Yeah, I should have
you
loaded
got
up
any?
these.
Have you got any news to share?
Well, only about those 3 women and a child.
yeah.
That was just a bit mad.
That was the Oklahoma. I want to say. See,
I forgot to load it up, and I haven't got your internet on my iPad, have I?
Oh shit! Yeah.
Oh well, I've got my phone. Quick.
Yeah, quick, because I could.
Yeah, they basically those 3 women. I can't remember the names. Oh, why wasn't I planning anymore?
I did ask before we started recording. Have you got any news?
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Yeah. But yeah, oh, what was it? It's just the 3 women. They went missing.
Decade ago.
Yeah, 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it wasn't it the school bus driver?
Yes.
And his 2 brothers.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
just a
three
bit-
people in the same family.
Yeah, all a bit weird.
Did you see the interview? That guy.
Honestly, no.
Oh, he was awesome.
This week again, I found myself being quite busy doing things.
This doesn't
For
matter.
example, seeing Star Trek.
Yeah, I need to.
You do.
I
You
do.
really, really do.
Yeah, well, me and Liz, because Chloe's out for the day. We were gonna go to the cinema, but she didn't particularly fancy Star Trek. She wanted to see Iron Man 3
Yeah.
more than Star Trek. But the problem is the time that's on, we're not gonna have time to do our weekly shop and then get home
Right.
for Chloe
Yeah.
whilst we watch it. So instead, we're gonna do our new thing that we like to do, which is sit and watch Game of Thrones,
Okay.
because that's awesome.
Fair enough.
We've only just started watching it actually.
It's supposed to be really good. I've not seen any of it.
It
to
is
be
very
fair.
good. It's very, very good. Yeah, go to the news site. What can't you find?
The news.
Yeah. But yeah, the 3 women. The thing that gets to me is everyone says about this woman. She's the main one. I need her name. But she's the main woman. She's the one that came to the door and got help from the neighbour
Yeah.
when the guy went out. And they're saying about. So she's been missing for 10 years. She's got a 6-year-old daughter. What's the first thing that comes into your head?
Well, nasty Joseph Fritzl type stuff.
Yeah, like this guy obviously raped this girl and
Yeah.
they had a daughter. No one's sort of making a note of the fact that girl is this guy's daughter. It's just saying about the woman's daughter and not about the whole.
Yeah. Not
But
that
no one.
he's.
That's not a big part of the. I know it's not the biggest part of the story. No one's making a big part of that story. And the fact that 6-year-old girl, all she's ever known is being inside that house. She's never been outside.
Yeah. Yeah,
Fucked
it's weird because but they're not. They're looking at putting him on death row, aren't they?
Yeah.
I think, but he hasn't killed anyone.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Do you know what
true.
I mean? It's
Yeah,
just a bit
yeah.
strange. He didn't kill anyone. He obviously he must have mistreated them.
Yeah.
And it's a nasty, nasty thing to do. But does it deserve death? I'm not sure it does. If I'm honest.
No.
Joseph Fritzl,
Yeah.
if he'd have been doing that in America, he would have been killed. He would have been put in the given the lethal injection. But again, he didn't kill anyone. But it was incest, rape, and also he kept her down there for like 20 odd years and had several kids with his own daughter. I mean, it's just bleh. I mean, that was a few years ago now anyway, but I don't know if he deserves the death penalty for it.
The Joseph Fritzl thing, the other thing that's really fucked up about that is he built that room.
Yeah, it was like a dungeon
It was a
underneath his house.
purpose-built room in
And
his
apparently
house.
his wife had no idea, even though he bought lots of like food shopping extra.
Yeah, but she had no idea that was. But yeah, these three people, these three women, and this guy. The one thing that scares me that I'm not sure if I want to know the answer to is the little girl. Was she brought into any of that? Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure details will come out.
Yeah.
As time goes on.
But if you find the interview, I saw it on Facebook. But there was an interview, like the neighbour. You'll find his name somewhere. Names have just gone out of my head. I was telling you about this whole short-term memory thing.
Yeah.
I was listening to podcasts yesterday, and that's a good choice of a search term. And they were talking. This is all they were talking about was these three women and the neighbour's interview, and they were mentioning all their names. And it's just gone out of my head.
Yeah. It wasn't Oklahoma. It was Cleveland. I was wrong.
Oh yeah.
It
was Ohio.
There you go.
It was Ohio, so you've got the O.
Okay, I was close.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah. So
Amanda Berry.
Three
that's
women:
her name.
Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus,
Jesus, yeah.
and Michelle Knight.
Yeah. And the 6-year-old girl.
Not named.
She has been named.
Oh really?
She has been named.
This might be an old story,
but
I'd imagine.
Yeah. But to be fair, her birth wouldn't have been registered.
No, exactly.
Which,
why is it taking so long?
Everything is today.
The technology's against us again today, as per usual. Oh god, this is just the timeline.
Yeah, so you probably want to go a bit further down to find. That you got all the detectives' names. Oh, there's the actual picture of the people. But that's the messed up thing. Like, I mean, it just goes to show never give up looking for someone.
Yeah.
That's what, but there is a woman. I think the longest. She went missing for 11 years.
Yeah.
There was another woman who went missing for 11 years, and she was kind of talking about them. Isn't this fun?
Oh god, let's move
it's
on.
Not, but yeah,
Let's
you've got the girls'
on.
names.
This has been a disaster.
But the interview is really funny. The guy was kind of like, I knew there must have been something wrong when a white girl went running into a black man's arms.
Yeah.
And he was saying shit like that, which is, he goes, oh no, there must be something wrong.
The guy's name is Ariel Castro.
That's him. Yeah, that's the guy
he's
who
the bus driver,
and it was his two brothers as well.
Yeah.
Who didn't actually live with him.
No.
But they used to go around there and. Yeah, and the neighbour as well, he's only been living there a year, and he goes, I didn't know there was anything wrong with the guy. We used to go around, like, I'd went around, I'd have a barbecue with the guy, just shit like that.
Yeah. That's amazing.
You got the recording of the 911 call.
But it's just, like you say, just never give up on looking for someone, I suppose. Lots of people gave the McCann shit for searching for Madeleine McCann.
I'm going to be honest, like, I understand why they would. I think the thing that got me about it was the fact that it's always in the newspaper. Anytime they do anything, there he is.
Charles Ramsey.
That's the neighbour.
Yeah.
Charles Ramsey. Yeah, you look up Charles Ramsey interview. He's a legend. But yeah, like, I mean, it was just the fact it was always front page news about Madeleine McCann. It still is, and stuff like that. And I saw something about it today as well. About this is a picture of what she would look like now.
Yeah, I know they've kind of done a rendering because she'd be like
11.
Something 11
like
or
that,
12.
Yeah. But like, it is when you see news like this that you think, do you know what? There is a reason to keep looking.
Oh, certainly. Yeah.
And I know for a fact that if it happened, like, God forbid it ever does. Not that I'm religious, but it's a saying.
Still.
God forbid it ever does. But if Chloe ever went missing, there's no way I'd give up.
No, I'm sure. Yeah, that's right. And
ever.
It would. I mean, it's this story just shows that there can be a happy ending at the end of these things. I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be years of therapy involved.
Oh yeah. The best thing, one of the things I absolutely love about it was, you got the 6-year-old girl, who's obviously a child born from rape, basically. But this woman, it's Amanda Berry's daughter. She actually taught the child.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't there was no sort of like, oh, there's no point, what's the point? She sat there and she used to play, and she was teaching her, like, English and math. Like, she
educated the kid.
And this Amanda Berry was a high school student when she went missing.
Yeah.
She was still a student, so I don't think she ever graduated. But, and she still, I mean, to be fair, what else are you going to do?
Yeah.
With your time?
Well, precisely. I'm waiting for the film rights to be bought by
Oh
someone.
fucking hell, yeah, of course.
Because I mean, they didn't do it about Fritzl because it wasn't an American thing, but this is America.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's going to be it has to be,
so there will be film rights optioned,
which is totally wrong.
Yeah, it's.
But if the women make any
as long
money
as
out
they,
of it-
as long as they get something, because like you say, they've never graduated. They don't really have much of a.
they don't have any life skills or anything.
No.
do they? Like their 20s, the whole of their 20s are gone.
I mean, imagine that. You know, they weren't the furthest they ever went outside the house was to the garage, and that
did
wasn't
they?
even outside. They had to.
They
go
probably
through.
went through a door in the
Yeah.
house.
It's
Well, they
weird. I
couldn't
don't
be
understand
seen.
because like, were they locked up?
They were locked in the house, I think.
Yeah.
And I think when the guy went out, they would lock them in the house. Like
Yeah.
they'd lock them in a room so they couldn't
Yeah.
sort of go and call for help. But obviously he
They
made a
weren't-
mistake this time, and the girl managed to get to the door, but she couldn't. Like the gap in the door wasn't even big enough to get a hand through.
No,
sort
that's
of thing.
right,
Or she
yeah.
could only get a hand through or
Yeah.
something, and she was screaming, and the guy heard her. And
They had to bust the door down.
yeah, he kicked the door in.
So I have
just
seen
wonder.
bits about
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
but I haven't.
It's a brilliant story, and
And it
well,
takes.
brilliant in the terms that like that they're out now.
Yeah, it's a good. It ended well.
Yes.
From tragedy, there is occasional good stuff. Oh man.
Oh, we're struggling. This is the
Jesus
problem with it. Like we
Christ.
think, oh, we do early morning podcasts so we can get more of the day, but the problem
Yeah.
is we're not awake yet.
No.
And then I've been on lates this week, and then I finished sort of 8 o'clock Friday night.
Yeah.
Got home 8:30, had my dinner, watched an episode of Game of Thrones, went to bed at 10 o'clock. I was up again at 4:45 because I'd done a 12-hour shift yesterday. It's just
Too
like
much. Too much.
I'm just feeling it.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it this week. But yeah, your big news, which
I've,
is big
yeah.
UK news. Actually, I suppose
I
it's
think worldwide because
international because of the team.
Manchester United is a worldwide brand.
Yes.
Their manager Sir Alex Ferguson has decided to step down. His last game as manager will be on the 19th of this month. It will be his 1500th game in charge of Man United.
Yeah, it's 26 and a half year reign. That's not just with United, is it? That's
Yeah, no, that is-
is 20,
yeah,
26 and a half year with United because he was a manager before.
He was a
United
manager
as well.
before. Yes, he was. He managed. He started his career at East Stirlingshire.
He was a Scottish
Yep.
football team.
And he was there for a year. He got them to 4th in the Championship. Then he moved to St Mirren, who after 3 years they won the Scottish Premier Division. He was with them for 4 years. So he got them to win. He stayed on another year and then went on to Aberdeen. That was St Mirren. Sorry.
Yeah.
St Mirren, he got to the top, then went to Aberdeen for further 8 years. Then he managed Scotland for a year as well, which I didn't realise.
No, I didn't know that. I'll be honest.
Because to be fair, in my lifetime, he's been the only manager of Manchester United. There was one before him that because he started in '86. I was born in '85.
Yeah, I was born 85. He actually managed Scotland. Was it 10th of September to 13th of June 1986? So he actually managed Scotland while he was managing Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought that, and they won 3 games under him, which for Scotland is a fucking achievement.
Not that there's anything wrong.
Well, no, they're just not. They're a very, very small country.
Yeah, so they've got
And-
limited.
Yeah, they've got a limited.
Same
pool
as
of
Ireland and
players.
Wales.
Yeah,
and
they never.
England, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, we outstrip most countries of our size.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't know why. Probably because the Premiership was at one point.
But then you
the
say that
biggest-
USA, they're a huge country.
But
then
soccer isn't their
soccer's-
national sport, is it?
That's true.
They do have a fairly good squad. Like they get into the World Cup.
Yeah, yeah.
Unlike Scotland,
Yeah.
often. I mean, they've been in the World Cup a couple of times, but they never get past the first round.
This is totally contradictory from what we said last week about not liking football.
No, I don't. I much prefer international football. I'm not a club.
Oh,
football
yeah,
guy.
yeah.
But this news outstrips the fact that most footballers are, as I said the other week, just
Overpaid.
nasty, horrible people who are overpaid and overfed and think they can get away with doing whatever they want. because they are celebrities or something.
Yeah.
You know, it just
It's
pisses
entitlement, isn't
yeah,
it?
entitlement is the word. But yeah, took over Manchester United on the 6th of November 1986, and yeah, this week that's 26 years.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, how many other managers have been in charge of a club for that long? Like more than a quarter of a decade. A quarter of a century, sorry.
Not a lot, to be fair.
Normally, you get a manager in, he lasts a couple of seasons, they have a few bad results, and they toss him out.
Yeah, the guy who's taken over is David Moyes.
That's
who's
right.
The Everton.
Yes.
And he's been
He's
with
been
Everton
there
for 10 years.
Yeah, he's been there for a decade, and he's not had a lot of money either, and
No,
he's
but
done pretty
really
well.
Yeah.
From what I've read. Again,
Because we're not that knowledgeable.
No,
This is just stuff we've heard.
Yeah, this is
week.
what I've read from the Sky Sports website. But yeah, what I heard was that Alex Ferguson is going to have a hip operation.
Oh,
basically,
okay.
that essentially has forced him to step down because,
He's
I mean, he's 71. I suppose he's going to be able to afford the best medical care in the world, but obviously if complications arose because of his age or whatever, you know. But also the recovery period from a hip hop is about a year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
So I mean, if he, I think he's having it this summer. So if he had it this summer, he wouldn't be recovered in time for not even next season, but the season after.
Yeah.
So they'd have been without a manager for a whole year, and I suppose it was just time for him to kind of step down.
because he's very hands-on as well. Like he's a coach. Like he'll get in.
Yeah,
and,
he
like,
does.
As a 71-year-old man, he'll get in and he'll kind of.
He still gets involved with the training sessions
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and he's also very involved with the youth squad as well. From what I understand, he's restructured the entire organisation from the ground up.
Yeah.
And from what he said is he wanted to leave the club at a point where everything is working and in order, and it can kind of self-sustain. No matter who else came in, it would like the structure is there for success in the future. But yeah, I just thought it was worth mentioning, really, because while he has been at Man United, I want to try. Where is it? He's won ridiculous amounts of trophies. It was somewhere. Because I mean, he did. He's won things that no other manager.
They were like the first team to win like the
treble
as well,
which is the winning the Premiership, winning the FA Cup, and winning Champions League. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think others had won a treble, but not that particular combination.
Yeah.
Like they'd won what used to be called the Charity Shield.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Like things like that, I think. But I think it was the inclusion of like, the FA Cup and the Champions League and the Premiership. It was that sort of combination of that's 88 to 89.
Oh shit.
Go back up. It says there what he's done. Versus 93 to 95 double win and loss. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
95 to 88 nothing. 98, 99 treble success.
Title hat-trick in 1999 to 2002. They won the title 3 years on the trot. Yeah, I mean he's
done a hell of a lot.
It's ridiculous the amount of trophies that he's won.
And I think the other thing about him leaving now is I believe they won the Premiership already.
They have, yeah. They've wrapped up this year.
Yeah, so they won the Premiership. So he's now, and for those who don't know, the Premiership is the top league.
Yeah.
In the UK.
I mean, there
as
the
Premier
results.
would. That's just ridiculous.
I mean, all those yellow ones there with the W is where they've won.
Yeah.
So Manchester United have won the season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 times with him as manager.
Runner up, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Third 3 times, and that's all like in the last. How many years is that? From 1991, they've been in the top 3 every single year since 1991.
Yeah.
That speaks for itself.
It does really. Yeah.
I mean, and the next thing is obviously this David Moyes coming in. He's another Scot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Alex
they're
Ferguson
kind of,
wouldn't have handed off to him.
No. But I think what it is there, he's still going to be chairman or something like that. He's gonna be on the board.
Yeah, he's still going to work with Everton. Yeah, I heard that on an interview on the radio yesterday. He's
with Man United.
Yeah, he's going to. Yeah, it's conflict of interest, I suppose.
Yeah,
but.
No. I mean, Alex Ferguson is going to be.
Oh, I thought you meant David Moyes.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to be director and club ambassador.
Well, yeah.
But then you wonder, like, how much freedom is Moyes going to get if Alex Ferguson is still there? He'll have a lot of say.
I think Alex Ferguson. I know it will be hard because he's been in charge for so long. It is his. He will feel it's his club. But I suppose after like 1 or 2 seasons, he's going to have to. I imagine he will be able to go, look, okay, I trust you. And to be honest, if you're David Moyes, yeah, you've had 10 years with Everton, but if you go to United and Alex Ferguson, the guy who's, like you say, in the last 11, 12 years, or however long it is, has been in the top 3 of the Premiership, you're going to listen to him, his advice. You're not going to say, well, no, it's my club, I'm going to do what I want to do. You're going to listen to them.
The big conflict of interest there is that Wayne Rooney and he had a massive fallout at Everton, which is why Rooney went to United. Yeah. And now there's this whole thing of like a conflict of interest there. Like, are they going to have to get rid of Wayne Rooney because these two guys can't work together? Are they going to have to try and bury the hatchet? But from what I understand, it was quite a public, nasty thing.
I don't know.
This is just what I've heard. I've not really looked into that quite so much, but
it is big news.
It'll be interesting.
And I mean,
to see.
let's be honest, we're talking about something we don't know a lot about.
Again.
Yeah. That is what we do. And I've actually, I don't know if you've seen on YouTube, youtube.com/ABH podcast, because we didn't do that at the beginning.
Yeah, that's right.
On YouTube, we put up a thing, I titled it ABH, or Anywhere But Here Extras, which is how to write a theme tune, maybe. Which is us kind of like me showing Tom what I've got for a theme tune for the song with no last verse. I think I've got a last verse now, and one of the lines is, "We don't have a lot to say, but we're going to say it anyway."
Yeah,
I'll just keep dropping everything.
Stop dropping things.
Sorry.
We need like a board.
We do
like
need
a lap
table.
tray or something.
We need a desk.
We do.
Well, you've got a desk, but then the camera.
It's taken up by all our equipment.
Well, it's because of the camera.
Yeah,
because we need the distance for the camera. But yeah. So we've got that, and I don't know when I'm going to get round to starting to record that.
Well, it comes when it comes.
Yeah,
but just know that we are working on it, and we've put up a rough draft. You can go and have a listen, and maybe.
And what you can expect is something like this onto our next segment.
Yeah,
that's a nice segue, isn't it?
I know. Yeah.
Although I've just taken a fact away, it's a nice segue. But we're saying it's a nice segue.
Well, we have to.
We'll get into it.
Out.
What's the segment called, Tom?
The segment is called the ABCs of ABH. I know that you're looking forward to it.
I know what I didn't do that.
Oh God.
The ABCs of ABH. What letters today?
F. That's right. This week we've arrived at F.
What's this, like 2 or 3 weeks in a row now?
I know, it's amazing. We've had no one in to disrupt the flow, which is good or bad. It doesn't really matter.
We don't mind.
Yeah. Again, if you've got something to say, come and be on the show.
Offer your services to us.
Yes.
For fuck's sake.
F. This week, I have decided to talk about the sport that I am passionate about, which is Formula One. That's the sound of so many people glazing over.
That's the sound of loads of people going, I don't want to listen to this.
Yep. If you want, just fast forward about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Or not.
You lucky people.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I know, I do like Formula One.
Yeah,
I'm not passionate. I don't watch it ever.
No.
I'll catch like the end of a race or something.
Yeah, it's just something that I've been brought up with. My dad was an F1 fan
before
he fucked off, and
my dad's an F1 fan, and I did used to watch it with him, but there was just got to a certain point when I think it kind of, I don't know, we just kind of lost the interest with it.
Well, I think it was probably around the time of Michael Schumacher winning everything.
No, because my dad was a Schumacher fan.
Oh right, okay. Yeah. See, I was as well.
And I was because of him, so I think it was when he stopped winning, or when he went,
maybe.
But we
yeah, I think that's when I stopped watching. Actually, it was when he retired the first time round.
Was it who was it who came in and was winning everything after that?
Mika Hakkinen.
That's with the Mercedes.
Yeah. I didn't like Mika Hakkinen. He was too kind of cold. But then that's the Finnish thing, because you've got a driver at the moment who's just come back, Kimi Räikkönen, who has no PR ability at all. Just
Oh,
gives
really?
one-word answers. He's really,
Oh, yeah.
and he's actually providing a lot of comedy at the moment because he shouts at his pit crew. Like they
Yeah,
tell
oh,
him
okay, yeah,
to
it's-
like warm up the tires and stuff. He's like, I know, I'm doing it, and like there's just a lot of that kind of back and forth. But yeah, it started in the 50s properly after the war. Was won by an Italian, Fangio, who is. Oh no, it wasn't actually. The first one was won by Giuseppe Farina, but Fangio was an Argentine driver, and he won 5 years in the first decade, 5
Wow.
years in a row, which was unparalleled and unbeaten until Michael Schumacher won his sixth
Yeah.
title in 2003.
Oh wow.
So for years and years and years, this guy who won essentially the second ever championship was regarded as the grandfather of the sport, and the best driver that there ever has been, and still is regarded that way, really, despite Schumacher and Senna.
Now, with the Schumacher thing, do you think it was down to his driving or down to the car?
I think there's a bit of both. I think,
Because with Damon Hill,
yeah.
it was definitely the car.
Oh my god, yeah, because you put him in any other car,
He
and
was
just-
winning everything in the Williams, and then he left because this is when I was watching it, so I know. that
Yeah, back in the
when
90s.
he went to who did he go to?
He went to Arrows. Arrows?
I think it was something.
Yeah, it
But
was.
yeah,
it was
he-
like a start-up team.
Yeah, only went to
essentially.
them, and obviously startup team, not very good car.
No.
He
no.
didn't win anything, and
Nothing
then
at all.
he retired.
Yeah.
But with Williams, he was winning everything.
And that came down to a lot of because Williams were the first car to use active suspensions and stuff like that,
Yeah.
which were electronically balanced.
Yeah, they read the road and then adjusted the
Yeah, which is why Senna left McLaren for Williams, and eventually met his demise,
Yeah.
because what happened was there was a big thing between Senna and Prost. A big, massive rivalry at McLaren. They fell out. They weren't talking to each other. Prost retired so that he didn't have to deal with Senna anymore. Senna became, the iconic driver that he became because Prost wasn't around to deal with.
Yeah.
Then Prost came back because Williams had this new thing and then won everything. So Senna then went to Williams. Prost retired again because he couldn't be bothered with being on the same team as Senna. And then the FIA decided that all these suspension things were kind of against the rules because
Right.
they were making the cars too good. It was when Nigel Mansell won
Yeah.
everything. Essentially all that technology gubbins was taken off the car right before the start of the season. So they'd had the whole pre-season testing with all the equipment on board.
Yeah.
And then when they got to the start of the season, it was all taken away, and the car was really unbalanced. It was a pig to drive, and essentially Senna, there was that horrible crash in San Marino in 1992, which actually, oh hello, which actually was the 20th anniversary was not 20th, 21st.
92. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
19th. I can't do maths today. 19th anniversary of his passing was the other week. It's just it's always been a thing that I've been passionate about. I remember watching that race. I was 9
Oh, you
years
were
old.
watching it?
And it was just awful.
It wasn't.
But it was basically out of the car. But that I haven't got around to answering your question yet, have I?
was
But
that?
Michael Schumacher, I
Oh.
think, because
Oh yeah, that was my question.
yeah, but
I
also
couldn't
you
even
got to
remember the bloody question.
there was another driver died that weekend as well, Roland Ratzenberger, an Austrian guy, and it turns out that he died in qualifying. He had this horrible crash.
So no one talks about that.
No, I know, no one remembers it
I
because
didn't
he
know.
wasn't as profound as Ayrton Senna. But they found in the cockpit of Senna's car, they found an Austrian flag because Ratzenberger was Austrian.
Oh,
He
really?
was going to wave the flag at the end, and it's
Oh,
just,
my God.
oh man,
That's
I get really
heartbreaking.
emotional talking
I
about
don't
it.
blame you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's horrible.
But like I say, I can get emotional talking about this stuff, like Kevin Smith gets emotional talking about Batman.
Everything.
Yeah, I'm not even stoned.
No.
So and then Schumacher came along. I think there was just almost like a cult of personality around Schumacher. He was given he always was given teammates that were not going to be a challenge to him, that would always back him up.
Yeah, they were
Like-
good, but they were not quite as good.
No.
But they were good enough to help him.
Yeah, that's right. They'd
Yeah.
always they'd block for him.
Yeah.
They would slow other cars
But
up.
that's the point. That's the point. I think everyone talks about the driver and how good the driver is, but the drivers themselves,
I mean-
are for the team. Like obviously Schumacher's teammates knew they couldn't beat Schumacher, so
Yeah.
they'd help him, so their
Of
team
course.
would win.
But also, you've got all the mechanics and all the people who design the car, and there's hundreds of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
that go into making that car what it is. So, yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for the car itself doing a lot of the work. I mean, I think these cars nowadays, there's so much technology that goes into them that the driver really just has to point it, you know, in whatever line, you know.
Yeah.
They just have to drive it and it goes and it does its job. But and this is why they still regard Fangio, because he won 5 times
Just a car.
in just a car. Yeah, there was nothing. There was manual gears.
Jesus.
You know,
I mean, they are still manual in a sense at the minute, but it's all paddle controlled.
it's paddles and stuff. Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean, you still have to clutch and.
no,
Oh, it's not.
no,
Clutch,
because the
it's
clutch is
automatic
you've only
clutch.
got accelerator
Oh,
and
okay.
brake. It's auto clutch.
So it's like fucking push
Yeah.
bike gears where you just push it and it
Yeah.
changes on its own.
It's all sequential. So yeah. But yeah, he came back and drove for Mercedes and was nowhere near.
Yeah. But that
Nowhere
might
near
have been just
competitive
out of
enough.
practice.
But I think he's in his 40s and it's a really physical sport as well.
Oh yeah,
because the thing
going
is,
at that speed.
when they're driving, their core temperature rises to something like 40 something degrees, which is well above
Yeah.
and should cause horrible sickness and stuff. It should fry the internal
Yeah,
organs,
yeah,
because
yeah.
normally if your body temperature goes up or down by 1 or 2 degrees, you can contract hypothermia, or you can contract, you know, or
But
if
theirs
you go the
goes
other
up.
way, yeah, it goes up, and you shouldn't be able to function at the speeds that they do in the heat that they
Well, because they
function.
got their fire suits and they're in that tiny little cockpit. I mean, there's
Yeah.
enough room to kind of steer your car.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
that's it.
now there's so little room in those cockpits that they actually have had to cut grooves into
For
the
the elbows.
sides where knuckles.
Oh Jesus!
Like, there's not enough room for the steering wheel and the hands inside the cockpit now. But
Well, yeah, because to get in and out, they have to take the steering wheel off.
and take off the sides of the car. There's a special
Jesus.
detachable bit.
I didn't know they had to do
Yeah,
that now.
yeah.
So I
it's-
remember just the steering wheel and kind of jump out, but now they actually have to
there's a
dismantle
whole
the car,
section that goes down the side of the arms and up over the
so
head.
it kind of goes
that
over the. Yeah.
It's like a horseshoe shape
Oh my
that
god!
they have to take off. So they are in that now. But after Ayrton Senna's death, the medical officer, the chief medical officer at the time, Sid Watkins, went on essentially a one-man crusade to make the sport much safer. And since Ayrton Senna's death, which was 19 years ago, there hasn't been a single fatality in
Yeah,
the sport. And it's all down to this guy bringing in regulations.
you have to do this.
Yeah, but not only to the cars, it's to the tracks. There's not allowed to be concrete barriers anymore,
No,
which
it's
you'd
all
have thought.
tyre. Yeah.
You know.
Because it's all tyre walls now, and
Well,
then you've got the special gravel.
There's also, well, they don't even do gravel traps on the new circuits now.
Oh,
They
no,
just
'cause
have
that's dangerous
massive.
as well,
They
'cause
have
it's-
massive kind of concrete runoff areas, like
Yeah.
tarmac runoff areas. So there's way more space. You don't kind of spin out on grass or gravel. You can slow the car down. The barriers are made of this special plastic stuff now that really is much more kind of it absorbs. I think it's got polystyrene and stuff packed into
Yeah.
it, so it's much more, you know.
Slows you down before it stops you.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, precisely, and so the sport's been completely redone that way. Nowadays, it's kind of been dominated by Sebastian Vettel, but the last couple of years have been more exciting because they've changed a lot of things. The cars are much more like last year. You had something ridiculous, like the first 6 races were won by 6 different drivers for 6 different teams, which has
wow.
not happened since the 80s.
Yeah.
Like they have brought it in to be much more
There's
competitive.
usually the one driver or one team that dominates.
That's right, and it's been Sebastian Vettel with Red Bull for the last 4 years or something like that. But I think last year Alonso. No, it might still be. No, it was Vettel still last year. So yeah, 3 years on the trot, which makes him the youngest 3 times world champion.
There's always there's always a record
Since
somewhere,
Michael
isn't
Schumacher.
there? Yeah.
Yeah, there's always a record. It's like if he keeps winning, it'll just be him. I think the youngest champion before that was Lewis Hamilton, but obviously he only won the once.
But like the thing is, you go now. That's the first person to win that lives in Kent.
Yeah.
Lives in Medway. Lives in this
there's
road.
always
Lives at
something
this door number.
people find. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it did go through a kind of boring phase between the Schumacher periods.
That's probably when I stopped watching.
And
it, to be
so did
fair.
I. If I'm honest, I didn't start watching it again until like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I'd taken maybe about 10 years of not bothering.
I think as well the thing is because it used to when we used to watch it, there was none of this like recording. Like you used to have to record it on video and watch it when you got. And I don't think because it was so difficult, we never really watched every race, so we never got into it as much. But I think like if I started watching it now and then I recorded it.
That's
You
right.
know,
You
you've
can
got
watch
your
it whenever you
TiVo
want.
boxes or your digital, like yeah.
And it is a much more interesting sport now.
I mean that's why I started watching UFC and things like that as
Yeah.
well because it's in America and it's on at stupid like 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning. I just used to record it and watch it the next day. I haven't watched it for so long now.
I was going to say you haven't mentioned it in a little
No,
while.
I haven't watched it for so long because we just got so far behind. There's so many to catch up on. Because I wanted to. I feel like I have to watch every single one.
Yeah,
I don't-
that's
I don't. I could
That's
just
how I feel
delete
with
all the
F1.
ones that are on there and just get back to watching.
true. But yeah, that's my F. Like I don't want to go on anymore because I am aware that I've rattled on for ages now.
We've spoken about sport for about
yeah,
20,
this is
30
a sport
minutes.
heavy episode, isn't it?
So my F.
Your F. Go on.
Well,
Everyone come back.
this
now.
is the short-term memory thing. If they're not listening, they don't know.
Oh yeah.
Text
I said 10 minutes.
Text them.
We'll put out a tweet.
Yeah. So I didn't think I had an F. I panicked, so I came up with one randomly on Wednesday or Thursday, and then I remembered. You're actually going to tweet it. I actually remembered that I'd had one for about 2 or 3 weeks, or since we started it, that I wanted to talk about. But I don't know. I mean, I was going to talk about female singers.
Right.
Because mentioned it to you before, and we spoke about it to Ben Copeland
Yes.
of Moody fame
Of
when we were around his after we recorded. We started speaking about it. Was just I don't know why I'm more attracted to the female singing voice.
No.
I just don't understand it.
Is it that generally speaking,
Probably
apart
just
from
the tone
maybe
of the voice.
apart from maybe that girl from Arch Enemy, they've got a much nicer tone.
Well, yeah, it's not quite so much Kitty. You know? No, it is. Like I say, the one at the minute that I listen to a lot is Kerry Ellis, the West End star. I think
Yeah.
she's got fantastic, and it's that belting voice I like, which is like Hailstorm, that lead singer. She's got the belting voice, and I think it is just that kind of
Thing.
Sorry, I'm distracted by what you're.
No. Carry on.
And you know, like Skunk and Nancy,
Yes.
Skin from Skunk and Nancy,
Yeah.
her voice is amazing. There's a woman. Me and my dad went to see Jules Holland at Moat Park Leisure Centre
Oh really?
in Maidstone. Yeah, we went to see Jules Holland and his Rhythm and Blues Orchestra.
Yes.
So very long name. And there was a singer that he works with a lot called Sam Brown.
I thought you were going to say Ruby Turner for a minute because she's always popping up.
No, Ruby Turner. No, not her. She's awesome though. But yeah, Sam Brown, she's got the real bluesy voice. And I actually listened to her at work the other day because I
Right.
thought if I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to mention Sam Brown, I should probably listen to some of her stuff.
Maybe.
I really liked her, but it's not the sort of music I listen to. But I will say, when I listen with Jules Holland, she does a lot of bluesy, jazzy type music. On her own, it's more like Mooley style
right.
music.
Yeah, the kind of
More-
the new Mooley or old Mooley.
No, the old Mooley. It's the
Yeah,
more chill
kind
sort
of trip
of.
hoppy.
Yeah, it's
kind
the
of
more
stuff.
chilled sort of stuff, and it's and I don't know why I just love female singers, and people should listen to more female singers. It's a cop.
Are there any that you can recommend? I mean, obviously Sam Brown,
Yeah, Sam Brown, Kerry Ellis. If you like
Mooley.
Kerry Ellis, she's like the new singer as well. She's
Yeah.
fantastic. That
Yeah.
video, and they're actually releasing Automatic
They are indeed.
as a single. I saw a
Yes.
tweet that went out the other
Yeah,
day.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I think it went out.
Mm.
So look out for that. Yeah, she's got a great voice. What was I saying? Yeah, Kerry Ellis, if you like, it's very show tuney, like not show tunes, like
No, not jazz hands.
not jazz hand show tunes, but proper like musical stuff. Because she was in Wicked and We Will Rock You.
Right.
Her voice of her version of Queen's Save Me as well. Definitely look that up.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, female singers. Can't really recommend any other than the ones I listen to.
Yeah.
Who else was there? Oh, there's a girl that I discovered on a podcast. What the fuck is her name?
Short term.
Oh, Meg
memory.
Myers.
Okay.
Meg Myers. She's awesome. You should look for her, and she's very she's not like a huge sort of thing, but she's got a very Sinead O'Connor sort of tone to her voice,
Right.
I think. But she looks like Katie Holmes in Dawson's Creek.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, so you look her up. The other F I was going to say as well, which could lead to a more interesting conversation, is famous people interacting with you on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because Tom got very excited
I
this
did
week.
get a little bit excited. I've got a thing to ask afterwards because I'm a technophile.
Oh, right.
Technophobe.
You ask me now, it could lead to something funny.
Can't do screenshots.
Oh, you can't do screenshots?
Look, on my this is really fucking boring. On my laptop, yeah, print screen
Yes.
is there, and it's on the function.
Yes.
If I press function,
Hold function, press...
yeah, that comes up, and then if you do that, nothing happens.
Well, yeah, but then you need to go into a image program and paste it. Because it copies it to your clipboard.
Does it?
Yeah.
But it doesn't say about. Oh, right.
Anyway, but yeah. Never mind.
I don't know. I think that it doesn't bring up the clip.
Yeah, Tom got extremely excited because Kevin Smith did actually favourite one of your tweets.
Yeah, it was exciting.
It is very good. I said, I think I put it on Facebook the other week that I seem to have a knack of getting interactions from famous people. Because Kevin Smith has favourited 2 of my tweets.
Yeah.
One was, do you remember he done a program called Spoilers?
That's
which was
right.
just online only. And I mentioned on it that I saw his daughter at the end. I said, did I spot HQ at the end?
Yeah.
And he favorited it.
Oh.
It's just kind of like a, yes, I saw your tweet, that was
And-
congratulations. And
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like, oh my God. And the other one was when Red State, when the Oscar nominations came up for Red State, and I said, no nominations for Red State, fuck the Academy up their arse with a dry Oscar. Which he favorited. And I'm just kind of like, I think I made Kevin Smith laugh.
Yeah.
After that, I thought I should have said base first.
Yeah, maybe.
At the end of it.
Yeah.
No, it would have been funnier. But
Always think of the thing. I mean, essentially what I did was use a hashtag that he used in the latest Smogcast, and only me and another guy, Chris Weira,
Yeah.
used it. So I got into contact with him and said, oh, you know, I actually, where was it? I had a conversation with him anyway that said, you know, it's nice to be a trendsetter. I expected more people to use the hashtag, and he favorited that one. And,
Yeah, kind of like, well done, guys. I like the
congrats.
hashtag.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
It's quite nice to. I mean, he's been someone that I've watched the films of for.
Yeah, I
years and years
remember
now.
like you and the other guys, like
Beavis and Johnny,
and
and
you
that
always used to talk about and watch them. And I wasn't really I hadn't really watched them then. It was after that I really got into them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember like the thing with you, Beavis and Johnny and everyone. It was all and Carl, I think. As well.
We were
the Kevin Smith
fan club
fanboys.
of Maidstone. Yeah. So it's kind of cool that I've written something that he's seen and liked enough to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not an interaction.
Did he favourite 2 of yours?
No, that's
Chris.
Chris Weira.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
the other guy who favoured another tweet that I sent to him. And I've also had a lot from Declan as well about Star Trek. We had a big conversation.
Yeah, Declan
about
Quinn, this Creaky Studios. If you listen to Tell Him Steve, Dave, you've
that. Yeah.
you know. Really. But yeah, I've had Kevin Smith's done too. You know Jason Bradbury from the Gadget Show,
The guy
bald
who
guy.
did the yeah.
Yeah, because I think he's put a tweet or someone tweeted him about a drum machine,
Right.
and I said, "Oh, thanks to you guys, I've fallen into a Roland-induced YouTube hole." Which basically, I was going and watching loads of Roland sort of the manufacturers, loads of Roland videos. He favorited that one, which I liked.
Okay.
Which I thought, oh, that was kind of cool. I think as well, when you say famous people, it's very relative.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Like
Because
it depends who your favourite. Like I love, like I've mentioned a lot of times about YouTube. Like I love people on YouTube, and the other day I actually tweeted one of the vloggers. He done the Star Wars a cappella.
oh, I saw
Like
you.
the Moose
yeah.
Butter done the video,
Yeah.
done the song, but he done a video where he lip synced to it. So I'm getting nervous.
Carry on.
Yeah, so he done the lip sync video to it, which was like he made him hugely famous.
Yeah.
And like the other day, he was saying about hoodies that he's selling. I said, "Crap, too late. Can I have your zip up hoodie?" And he said, "No." Basically, he went, "Ha ha, no, it's my favourite." And I was just like, "Oh my god!" Like it's Corey Vidal. He's called. He's a Canadian guy. His vlog's Apprentice A, which is EH. So that's Apprentice A.
The Canadian.
The Canadian A. Who was the last one? And Brian Quinn. I've had a conversation with
Oh right, yeah.
from Tell 'em Steve Dave. Stop it. Where I asked about Impractical Jokers but coming on in the UK, and then he tweeted me back about it, and I tweeted him, and then he tweeted me back, and I was like, I actually had a
See,
conversation
that's an
with him.
actual thing. Like that would blow my mind slightly if it was. something
Yeah,
that
I was a bit like, oh wow. But that's because we love podcasts. Outside of the podcasting realm,
No one knows who we're talking about if you
Yeah,
don't
they're
listen
nobody.
to certain people, certain podcasts.
or unless you're
whatever.
American and you watch Impractical Jokers, you don't know who he is.
Yeah.
Like they're nobodies.
No.
There is a British version of Impractical Jokers.
There is, yeah, but I don't know how.
I've not watched it because I don't
No.
want to,
No, me neither.
because I like the American one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, that's the other F, which I think is cool. Is like famous people are interacting with you. If you go up to famous people, tweet me back, I love you. Tweet, they're not going to tweet.
No.
You just,
Talk to them on a level.
you forget they're people.
Mm.
Like us doing this now kind of brings it into
Some
a
sort
certain. Like all we do, we're just two guys sitting, and there might be people listening to us.
Well, we know.
I mean, like in future, if we ever get
yeah, exactly.
better at this,
It's all a bit meta, isn't
there's
it?
people listening to you. Like that's all he does. He podcasts. That's all he does.
Yeah.
Essentially, and then he tweets like people like us, and we're like, oh my god, fans,
Geeking
fanboying
out.
out.
Yeah. But I think we really should man up.
Yeah.
Really, because to be fair, we're geeks, and if
Yeah.
all the electricity in the world was to stop tomorrow, how would we survive?
We'd be nobodies.
We'd be nobody. We'd be back to being nobodies again. We wouldn't have
Because we're
this.
somebody now. Because we're somebodies.
But we need to stop with all this technology and gadgets and apps and all that bullshit, because it's not real. It doesn't mean anything. We've just said it
Yeah.
ourselves. What does matter is people need to go back to their roots a little bit more. I'm changing the blurb.
Yeah. Let's go back
Because-
to the roots. Like, what could you mean?
Well, back in the day, it used to be that fathers would take their sons out and they'd teach them how to fish. They'd teach them how to, sharpen sticks into spears or bows and arrows and stuff. And,
Yeah.
And no one seems to do that anymore. Everyone's so preoccupied with podcasts and apps.
Probably a bad example.
But everyone's so concerned with fame and celebrity. And
You could put the two together. You could listen to a podcast while you're whittling a stick into
you
an
could,
arrow.
I suppose. But if all the electricity turned up tomorrow, where would you be? Would you be able to, build a fire from nothing? Would you be able to, build a temporary shelter for your family in the woods? Would you be able to catch, clean, and prepare your own food on an open fire with no crockery? Is there an app for that? No, there's not an app for that, because there wouldn't be any electricity for you to have a
There
look at the
wouldn't,
app.
no.
That's right. You'd need some antiquated technology. You'd need a book. You'd need a book.
Any kind of book in particular you've got in mind?
This book, Man Up, The Real Man's Book of Manly Knowledge by Rod Green, is the book I'm talking about. It's published by Michael O'Mara Books.
You might have heard of them before.
It comes out this month, in fact. I have got an exclusive copy here. It's the newest guide to being a man. And it's broken down into sections where certain skills are necessary. For example, you've got skills to use in the great outdoors, in the woods, in the desert, in the Arctic, in the air, in the water, on the road, emergency first aid, dealing with animals, coping with the unexpected, and dressing the part as a man.
No more
Within-
salmon pink shirts.
No, too right. Get on the tweeds, get on a nice comfy pair of brogues, get
Get a
yourself
cork hat
get yourself a stout stick and go off into the woods and build a fire. And
in your hiking boots.
yeah. But then all those subsections are broken down into specifics for each of those environments. And to be fair, I don't know. There's a list of stuff here. I don't know what's going to be the best. I mean, it's got sections on how to deal with wild animals, how to escape from a bear, how to fight off an alligator, how to treat snake bites. I mean, it's just. It's very handy.
No, I was going to make something about an insect bite and last week's
Oh,
podcast.
yeah. I have to mention something about that later
okay.
on, actually, because it's something that I forgot to mention last week. But yeah, you've got all this stuff: how to land a small aircraft when the pilot's been incapacitated, how to survive if your parachute doesn't open, how to give the kiss of life, which is very important.
Yeah, that's just important in day to day, not just.
Yeah, but again, like the man skills book that we did a thing on a few weeks ago
yeah.
now, this is, again, it's kind of a humorous thing, but it's also incredibly,
It's teaching you something whilst entertaining you.
yeah, precisely. And I think you know, there's a lot of really good advice in here. I haven't read through the whole thing just yet.
No, we'll probably maybe next week or the week after
I'll have a quick read through, and we might, you know, we read a couple of extracts, maybe mix it in with Man Skills. Who knows?
So
But I mean, look at the cover. It's got a man punching a bear in the face. How much more manly do you want to be? And at the end, he sits on him,
you're kind of doing a winky pokey tongue smiley
Yeah.
face the bear at the end.
which is an
Yeah.
allusion to yeah.
It's a nice
To the
emoticon there.
So yeah, Man Up, The Real Man's Book of Manly Knowledge by Rod Green. It's educational and funny, but really useful for today's men who have become a little bit poncy and a little bit too reliant on technology and gadgets.
I've got to be honest.
Like
I
us.
know my way to Tom's. I still use my bloody sat nav.
Exactly,
To get
you see. We have no idea how to survive in the wild, or just, you know, it's only $9.99 as well, so it's affordable.
No, it's not bad.
And what's coming up this week? Oh, and this month, next month, Father's Day.
Yes.
It would make a great present for Father's Day. And like I say, it's affordable, so you can save up your pocket money if that's what you're doing, if you're a younger listener.
Please.
And you know, just
So where can we get the book?
well, you can get the book through our website. If you go onto abhpod.com, click on the banner that I was talking about at the beginning of the podcast, go through there, buy it off Amazon. You can go to Michael O'Mara Books at mombooks.com.
Yes.
Pick it up through there. I think it's .com.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. You can find Michael O'Mara Books on Facebook. You can also follow them on Twitter at O'Mara Books. And for anything more, contact Anna McLaughlin, Head of Publicity and Marketing and Online, on 020 7819 5911, or email her at anna.mclaughlin@mombooks.com. She's who we've been dealing with since we did the piece on Man Skills,
Yep.
and she's really approachable,
She
really
is,
kind of
actually,
accommodating.
yeah. I've read the emails
And I'd like to make a special mention to her, because she's the one who's hooked us up with this. I know that it's advertising for them, but you know, it's advertising for us as well. They've scratched our
you
backs.
can help us help them help
Help
us.
us help, yeah. Help me to help you to help me to help you. And yeah, she's been really nice to deal with, actually, you know.
Awesome.
So yeah, thank you, Anna.
Go get that book. I might have to buy myself a copy.
We can have joint custody of
Yeah.
it. It's okay. But yeah, so Man Up, The Real Man's Book of Manly Knowledge,
Awesome.
out now for Father's Day.
And that's what we do for unpaid sponsorships.
Yeah, just imagine what we would do if we were being paid.
Yeah, I
If
think
you-
we should set up like an advertising email address.
Yeah, maybe. If you want to get in contact about sponsoring the show,
Yes.
email us.
Because we do need help, because we're going to have to. Well, I mean, yeah.
we're gonna have
Next January, we're going to have to fork out quite a bit for
so
posting and stuff. Because it's not free, even though it's free to you, it's not free to us.
No, Ant has spent quite a bit of money in the past few months.
But Tom Shelby.
Yes, now that I've got my new
Yeah.
contract with the spangly new figure attached to it. Yeah, so, you know, if you want us to advertise anything for you, if you want to sponsor the show, just email us at abhpod
And we'll
at
give
gmail.com.
Yeah, and we'll give you some info on how you could do that.
Yeah,
We've got to try and sort out some way for you to do that.
yeah. We'll sort something out.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Don't
We're
worry about it.
pros.
Yeah.
It'll be
So that's that.
okay. Yeah. Well done,
What
Tom.
I was going to say about last week, the spider
You
bite.
used about 20% of your spiel that you've got on there.
Yeah, I know. It's fine. I had to improvise.
They're
But
nice.
improvisation is fine. Yeah, they're more guidelines than actual rules. Yes, the spider bite thing from last week. I was
Yes.
supposed to mention a local band from around here called Spider Bite.
Oh, really?
Yes, yeah, they're pretty good. They're a group of lads, probably about, I don't know, let's think, about 15, 16, 17,
really?
something like that, yeah. But they do like old school rock, like hard rock, like AC/DC
okay, cool.
style rock.
They're
And they're
good.
pretty good, yeah. I would imagine you'll be able to find them on Facebook. I think it's hold on, I should probably have
Seeing
got
as
them up.
MySpace
Yeah.
isn't there anymore.
MySpace doesn't really do it for people anymore, does it?
Despite Justin Timberlake's efforts, I think.
Really?
Yeah, he brought it, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
He brought MySpace and he tried to relaunch it, I think.
there we are.
Spiderbite.
SPYDERBYTE.
Because it's cool to replace your vowels.
Yeah, yeah. So you can find them on MySpace, on Facebook, as Spiderbite. They're actually playing at Gillingham Youth Centre, Woodlands Gillingham Youth Centre, on the 24th of May. They're playing at. Oh no, they're doing one on the 18th of May as well. At Poco Loco, wherever that is.
No.
25th of May, they're doing.
We don't know. Are they doing blood
No, they're in a semi-final thing at the Ivy.
Oh, okay.
Again, wherever that is, not quite sure.
I was gonna say,
Anyway, they've got.
Bloodstock.
Yeah, I know. Like I say, they're pretty damn good, and I'd like to just shout them out a little bit because they're
Is there
young.
a reason you know them?
One of them is the student of Joe.
Oh, okay.
His name is Nathan Hammond, and he's a bassist, and he's pretty damn good.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. We used to go to an open mic night, and he used to play the bass there, and it just put me off wanting to go up and do it because he was something like 15 or maybe even 14 at the time, and I was just like, nope, not putting myself up in
Giving
front
up.
of that. Yeah. So yeah, Spiderbite. Go and check them out
Awesome.
because they're pretty good. And hopefully that gets us some younger listeners as well.
Probably won't.
Yeah,
Oh well. Anyway,
no.
I think
I'm sure there
don't-
were other things.
there probably was, but we're like over an hour.
Yeah, I know we've done it
Again.
again, but not much. So we've covered a lot of sport this week.
Yeah,
just
sport.
putting to rest that thing that we're not interested in sport. We are.
Football, Formula One, female singers, famous people on Twitter.
Fuck yeah.
Definitely an F this week. We have
Awesome.
creamed the ABCs of ABH.
We
this
have.
week,
It was all fucking Fs today, wasn't it?
apart from those people getting kidnapped. Although
Yeah.
you did mention Fritzl, so
I like it. So that's been Anywhere But Here for this week. I've been Tom.
I've been Ant.
Bye.
Bye.